All right, let's get into the schedule, guys. The hit list was released just yesterday. That's actually why I'm doing this. I'm recording on Thursday. It is the 13th. The schedule, normally I would record on a Wednesday, but the schedule was coming out. I made all my photos. If you guys haven't checked them out yet, head over to the Ram Showcase Facebook page. Just type in Ram Showcase at the top, and that's exactly how you do it. And you'll just see all my photos. I made an individual photo for each game of the season, including the bye week, which isn't technically a game, but it is a week in the season. So I made those. I'll slap them up on Twitter as well. I'll probably put them on Instagram also. So make sure you guys are following at Ram Showcase on those avenues as well. But before we start, I want there's inevitably going to be at least one person that is super confused at why we're playing 9 road games and only 8 at home. That is because of the new addition to the regular season with that one additional game. Now we have to alternate. All the AFC teams are hosting. Next year, all the NFC teams are hosting. So I don't know exactly. Oh, man, I did know it. It's in my notes somewhere of what division we'll be playing. I want to say it's the East. It might be the AFC East, and then we'll be hosting same place finishers. So that's kind of how that rotation is going to work. It'll go back and forth. But because of that, and I'm pretty sure it's because of that, the Rams are actually going to host 2 preseason games and then only play 1 on the road. So that's not too bad, right? It's not too bad. So those preseason games, we start at home against the Chargers. So neither team has to travel. So cool for them, I guess. And then we're at home against the Raiders, so not very far for the Raiders to travel, but they will be headed to SoFi Stadium. And then that final preseason game is actually in Denver, which is right up the road from Sheriff Joe Bags. So if you guys want to come and have a beer in the parking lot of the Broncos Stadium with me before this game starts, then come on down, man, because I'll definitely be there 100%. Every time the Rams are in Colorado, I'm there. Even when they were just here for practice in 2018, because of course it was week 6, I believe it was. It was week 6. I know the Rams went 6-0. So in 2018, I was there. It was snowy. It was super cold. It was like a high of 22 that day. It was beautiful. I loved it. And all those California people that came out, it was so fun. it was fun to just be chilling like, yeah, this is Colorado. And they're all like, it was pretty cool. But then, of course, the Rams came to practice out here at the Air Force Academy. Leading up to the Chiefs game that was supposed to be played in Mexico. Of course, that didn't happen. We all know the story. But I was just kind of like, we were following everybody around. I met Miles Simmons. He was the Rams website writer at the time. That was pretty cool. They gave me like a beanie and a pin and stuff. It was pretty sweet. But anytime the Rams are in town, I'm absolutely there. So week 3 in the preseason at Denver, I will 100% be there. There is not a single doubt in my mind. I will get tickets. I know enough family members and stuff that have season tickets so I can get my own. So come on down. Come on out to Colorado. It'll be beautiful because this is in like August. It's going to be fine. And come and have a beer with me. But let's go ahead and start this schedule. So this one kind of released a little bit early, but week 1 at home against the Chicago Bears on Sunday Night Football. So this is going to be a good one. Matthew Stafford is getting his first chance as the LA Rams quarterback under the lights at SoFi Stadium, and that's pretty cool. He's also playing an opponent that he's played plenty of times in the Chicago Bears. Played him twice a year for all those years. He was drafted, number 1 overall in 2009, I think it was. I want to say it was 2009, the year before we took Bradford 1 overall. But that's the big story. Prime time for Stafford's opener. That's awesome. But the question mark on the other side is who's going to be starting a quarterback for the Chicago Bears? Is it going to be Andy Dalton? Is it going to be Justin Fields? If I had to put money on it, it's Andy Dalton. That's why I don't understand exactly why this is a primetime game in week 1, why you would put the Bears, who are going to just start the Red Rocket for probably 5, 6, 7 weeks, and then Fields is going to come in. I don't know. Feels like a little bit of a weird thing to me, but hey, that's all good because last time these two teams played, not only did the Rams win, but Leonard Floyd had something to say about it, all right? And that was pretty cool. So he had a pretty big game. Hopefully he can duplicate that in this season in the 2021 opener, Sunday Night Football against the Chicago Bears. That'll be pretty cool stuff. You know what? I'll be putting up the images that I made over here. So you guys already know that because you've already seen the Bears one. So either way. Next game here, week 2, the Rams travel out to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. This game does kick off at 10 a.m. LA time, and I am not a fan of the early games. I can tell you that much right now. I like to get up and take my sweet time getting ready and then watch like the first half of the games and then hit the road, do my little Facebook Live that I always do. Some of you guys know about that. If you guys don't, hop on the Ram Showcase Facebook page and join me live. We do live pre-game every single game while I'm driving to go watch it, or if I happen to be at home, which sometimes I get like one at home a year, I'll just sit here and we'll sit in the sheriff station and do it. But make sure you guys head over there and do that. But 10 a.m., man, I'm a little bit groggy on those ones because obviously the night before this is a Saturday night, and I like to have good times. So we'll usually be a little bit groggy. The storyline that we're watching in this one, Wentz is the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts now. That's huge. That is the biggest thing. But what does his impact look like? Because the Colts don't like to turn the ball over, and Carson Wentz does, it looks like. So I'm okay if he does like to turn it over quite a bit in this game. I would be okay with that. But, I mean, the real story here also, aside from just Wentz starting this game, is the Rams and Colts this entire century have not had a close game. Not since pre-2000. I think it was like 95 the last time these two teams had a decent game against each other. So it's been quite a while. The closest game this decade was 17-point difference. All right, and that was in 2005. It was a 45-28 win by the Colts. The Rams won the most recent game between these two teams, and that was in 2017. That was actually the opener of the 2017 season, and that was the game that was like, wait a second, are we good? Like, I remember like LaMarcus Joyner getting that pick six, and the way he ran into the end zone and just kept running after he hit the end zone, it was like, wait a second. I think we might be a good football team, guys. And then, of course, we went to the postseason that year, first time in way too long. So that was pretty cool. But that was the most recent game. But yeah, none of these games have been close. So maybe we'll just beat them up again. And next game here is going to be week 3. The Rams come back to LA to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game kicks off at 1:25 p.m. So the late game, which is always preferable. The storyline here, the Bucs, they won the Super Bowl. They're bringing back all 22 starters, and they won the Super Bowl last year. That's absolutely massive. I think it's worth noting, though, that the Buccaneers were unable to defeat the LA Rams last year, the year that they won the Super Bowl. So maybe we can repeat that as well. Hopefully that entire situation doesn't repeat and the Buccaneers just go on to win the Super Bowl. Hopefully that is Matthew Stafford holding that bad boy up at the end of the year. But either way, because the Bucs are coming to town, and early season, I think that is somewhat beneficial because we'll at least be healthy. They'll be healthy, which is not beneficial. But all 22 starters back, man, I don't know. It's an interesting situation because does that just lead to continuity? Are they just going to pick up from right where they left off at the Super Bowl and just be good again, like right away? Because there was a stretch last year where they didn't look very awesome. So is that what's going to happen? Or is it going to be like, oh, no, man, we got all 22 starters back. We won the Super Bowl last year. We got Tommy B as our quarterback. We're all good, man. And do they come out starting slow? Does it happen? Does it happen? Week 4 against the Arizona Cardinals at home again. This is going to be a 1:25 p.m. kickoff time. The storyline in this one, Sean McVay has yet to lose to the Arizona Cardinals since becoming the Rams head coach. That is pretty big, all right, because he's been here since 2017. All right, so last time that the Cardinals were able to defeat the LA Rams, 2016, Rams' first year back in LA. That was Goff's rookie season, though. Not a good one. That was not very fun to watch. And the Cardinals defense, they improve. But by how much? I don't actually know. So they bring in J.J. Watt. They address that, which, I mean, obviously is good. But pass rush wasn't their downfall last year. So I don't know. They did add pieces. They added pieces. I don't know exactly how good the Arizona Cardinals are going to be this year. I'm a little bit confused at how good they'll be, but I also think they have the worst coaching staff, so I don't think it's just roster-wise. Roster-wise, they're up there. I mean, but so is everybody in the NFC West. They're up there. Their coaching staff might be the weakest, though. Next one here, the next primetime game for the LA Rams in Week 5 at the Seattle Seahawks. This is a Thursday night football game. The storyline here, Seahawks won the division last year, but the Rams defeated the Seahawks on the road in the postseason in the wild card round. So who's the real champion? All right, you guys won the regular season, but we played further. All right, Rams played further than any other NFC West team last year, so I take that. as a win. All right, that to me is the champions. The champions play the furthest, right? That's, I mean, in my mind, I guess. And Gerald Everett, now Seahawks tight end as well. I'm expecting trash talk, all right? I'm expecting Jalen Ramsey and Gerald Everett to chirp it up. And that's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. I'm here for it. Thursday Night Football, so this is going to be a tight turnaround. At least we're at home we're coming off of a home game, so, and then it's just up the coast there to Seattle for this one. So not too bad, but Thursday at Seattle, that's going to be a tough one. We'll see how many fans are in that stadium, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be rocking pretty loud. Primetime in Seattle is usually pretty obnoxious. After that, the Rams do have a little bit of a break, one of those little fake buys to have a Thursday night football game, but then the Rams are going all the way to the other coast and playing at the New York Giants at 10 a.m., those dreaded 10 a.m. games. The Giants have helped out Jones quite a bit, but if he's not getting it done by week 6, which is where this game is at, the Giants might kind of keep their eyeballs a little bit more open on the next option here. And who could that be? Could it be a Rodgers? I have no idea. I kind of feel like this is Rodgers last year in Green Bay. New York I think it makes perfect sense. It makes all the sense for Aaron Rodgers to end up going to the Giants next year. I don't know. Maybe that's way too early. But this is the second of the Rams' 4 early kickoff games, so those 10 a.m. games. Not the biggest fan, but I think week 6, if Daniel Jones throws like 3 picks to Rams corners, like 1 to Jalen, 1 to Darius, and maybe 1 to Fuller or something, that's where we're gonna have to start looking at that and be like, or they are, because I don't really care, but they're gonna have to start looking at it and be like, maybe it's time. We've helped him out. He's got the team around him. He's not getting it done. But I think Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. I just don't think he's a great quarterback. Then the Rams do come home for one of the more exciting games on this schedule, in my opinion, which is week 7 at home against the Detroit Lions. This is a 1:05 p.m. kickoff time. We'll have a bunch of really good stuff. One of my good buddies, Kurt Steele, he's a big Lions guy. He does the Die Hard Den podcast. Incredible show, incredible guy. He'll definitely be on the show. I haven't asked him yet, but he will be. I know it. I'll be on his show. He'll be on mine. We're just we're homies like that, so we'll be doing that. But this is the Goff and Stafford Bowl. Jared Goff played for the Rams. Matthew Stafford played for the Lions. Now they're opposite, and now they're going to battle it out. We also got Brock coming back to town. Michael Brockers eating up blockers. And, this game here, obviously the Detroit Lions they're in a spot where they're anticipating and preparing for the next few years to really build a contender. That's the nicest possible way I can say that they're rebuilding. But the LA Rams obviously are a very strong team right now. They're in the conversation for being a representative in the Super Bowl for the NFC. The Detroit Lions are not. They're on the other side of that. So I don't know exactly what to expect here, but I do anticipate that Aaron Donald getting to Jared Goff is something that we see probably a couple of times. And that's just not good news for Mr. Jared Goff, because we know better than probably anybody else that Jared Goff has some struggles under pressure. And if AD is getting to him, if Flo is getting to him, then we could force him into some turnovers. That's for sure. We know how that works with good old Jared. So that'll be a fun one, though. I'm really excited for that game. That's not necessarily one that I'm looking at going to, unless maybe some cool stuff can play out. But that one, I think that's going to be a fun one. At least the build up and doing the podcast that week and stuff. That'll be a fun one for surezies. Next up, Week 8 at the Houston Texans. This is another 10 a.m. kickoff. The story here, the Texans here they're my pick for the first overall pick in this draft. I think it goes Texans, and then I think it goes Lions. I don't really have much more after that, but I think those are the 2 worst teams in the league this year. But Texans, I don't know if they'll win a game. I don't. I don't know if they're going to win a game, but we can't really say that because A, I don't know, and B, the Rams just lost to the Jets last year, so anything can happen. Anything can happen, but I'm going to guess that Deshaun Watson will be available for this game, but technically we don't actually know that, and also if he is technically available at this time of the season in Week 8, is he just a Denver Bronco? I don't know. The Denver Broncos, I feel like, are clearly in the market. They want Rodgers, it sounds like. And Watson was a part of the conversation not that long ago. So if Deshaun Watson is playing in Week 8, is it even for the Houston Texans? Is it for the Denver Broncos? I'm not sure yet. The Broncos did not address quarterback via the NFL draft. Instead, went with Surtain at corner with their 9 spot. So hey, it makes sense that they would try to make a move there. Next one here, Rams return to prime time in Week 9 at home against the Tennessee Titans on Sunday Night Football. The second SNF game and the second home primetime game of 2. So it's the last home primetime game for the LA Rams. Both of them are Sunday Night Football games hosted at SoFi by the Rams. The story here, 2 absolute athletic freaks might actually meet in the running lane, and that's pretty cool. Aaron Donald, Derrick Henry. What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? You get some really good football on Sunday Night Football, all right? That's going to be some good stuff. I'm pumped for it. I am here for that. And I guess we can call this a Super Bowl rematch, but I think that's extremely thin. I don't really buy into that just because it happened. It's been a while. All right, guys. It was January. I got it over here. January 30th. I was going to say 29th. January 30th of 2000. That was when that game played out. So it's not a rematch of that for sure. But hey, Tannehill's playing some good ball. Derrick Henry is an absolute monster. They've got Josh Reynolds now, so he'll be making his return to the Rams. And yeah, we'll get some more under the lights action. That'll be a good one. I'm excited. All right. I'm excited about all of them, in fairness. I'm just going to put that out there. I don't need to say that every one, I don't think. I'm pumped for all of these games. They're all going to be awesome. And the next one here, Week 10, the Rams travel to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers on Monday Night Football. So SNF followed by MNF, and that's going to be some good stuff. So it's nice that when you have a night game, I mean, it is at home, but it's nice when you have a night game that you get like that one extra day. Just that one. Of course, we won't. Actually, no, we'll talk about that next. That'll kind of play out sweet. But Monday Night Football at the 49ers. So under the lights at Levi's Stadium at the Field of Jeans we'll be playing. And is this about the time that Trey Lance starts? I'm not sure. But also, Jimmy G has really shown the inability to stay healthy. So is Trey Lance starting in this game? That's really what we need to know, but we've got a few weeks to figure that out, all right? This is more than halfway through the season that we'll be able to figure this one out. The Rams did not defeat the 49ers last year, even when the 49ers were pretty beat up and Garoppolo wasn't playing, Kittle was out, all these guys weren't playing, and we still lost to them. I don't know what it is. Shanahan just knows how to defeat McVay, so hopefully we can turn that around and stop doing that because it sucks. And of all the games, of all the teams, I mean, if we just go 6-11 every year, just win those division games. You know what I mean? Win those dang division games, and I won't want to absolutely lose my mind. But if we're like crushing everybody else and losing division games, that sucks. And then Week 11 is the Rams bye week, so we are off after the Monday Night Football game, which is actually really nice. We don't get that short week. We get a shortened bye week in a sense. It's only 13 days, but hey, that's totally fine with me. Because after the bye week, so Monday Night Football, and then we'll be at home for Week 11, and then we travel to the Green Bay Packers in Week 12. This is a 1:25 p.m. kickoff time. This is LaFleur and McVay again. All right, cramming up your cram hole, LaFleur. And the Packers did knock out the Rams last year in the postseason, robbing us at the chance to play in an NFC Championship game. But that's okay because they didn't do it either. I don't like losing to losers, though. So if we're going to lose, at least be to the champion. You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I don't like. When we lost to the Packers, I saw a bunch of Rams fans like, well, I hope they lose. Like, I don't want to lose to a loser. That means we're loser squared. I don't want to do that. But that's besides the point. These are 2 of the top 3 NFC teams out there right now. You throw in the Bucs, and these are the teams. The Rams, the Packers, and the Buccaneers, and we get both of those teams, so that's pretty cool stuff. But that's awesome. And we got to see it. But those three teams, this is going to be an important game. And it's in, week 12? This is going to be an important game. And you know that LaFleur and Jordan Love maybe are gonna be ready for this one. And man. We got a good schedule, guys. We'll talk about some notes here in a second, but I'm liking this schedule. After that, we got week 13, and we finally hit December versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a 1:25 kickoff, and Lawrence and Urban Meyer, they should have some continuity by now. They should be kind of feeling the rhythm at this point of the season and getting their stuff flowing. Maybe Lawrence is throwing some tutties to Mr. Tebow. Probably not, but that'll be some interesting stuff. This is going to be the 6th matchup ever between these two teams. We've only played 5 times. The Rams are 4-1 all time against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that one loss was in overtime in the 2009 season. If you guys remember the 2009 season, like I do so vividly, the Rams only won 1 game that year. So to say that they only had lost to the Jags 1 time, and it was in a season that the Rams only won 1 game, and it was an overtime loss, well, it sounds to me like the Rams kind of have the Jags number just a little bit. So that's okay with me. This, heads up, I don't care who knows it. This is the game I'm targeting it going. It's December 5th, and me and my best friend, she's a Jaguars fan, so I think that this is just going to be the one. I think this is the week I see SoFi. December also buys us enough time to kind of open up the world a little bit more, and hopefully get a little bit more through this pandemic. And also, I live in Colorado, guys, all right? And it would be pretty sweet to go out to LA in December, all right? When Colorado kind of sucks, all right? And it's like dark at 4:45 and all that. So this is going to be a good one, though. We got Trevor Lawrence in his rookie season, a potential Hall of Famer that we could be seeing unfold. And, I want to see him in his rookie year. And not only that, but I want to see SoFi Stadium in the season, its real rookie season, that we can actually go see it. And then Matthew Stafford, added that in too. And this is the year that I go out to LA for sure. And this is the game I'm targeting. Next game here is going to be week 14 at the Arizona Cardinals. This game is also on Monday Night Football. So, of course, we are at home, and then we get a long week coming off not playing on Sunday because we got Monday Night Football in Glendale, Arizona. So the old guys that the Cards signed, are they still there? Are they still playing in this game? Is J.J. Watt still healthy at this time? Is A.J. Green still healthy at this time? Those are questions that I cannot answer for you right now, because if I could, I would not be doing a podcast in my apartment. I would be making so much more money doing other things. But the Arizona Cardinals in this one, I want to touch on that later, just in a little bit. But this game, this is also about the time where the Rams could be feeling some of that too. Is Whitworth still going to be on the field this time? So, it kind of works both ways. I know I call out the Arizona Cardinals for being super old, but we got the old guys too. It's not like Stafford's super young, and it's not like Witt's super young. So, what, AD's now 30? So, we're getting there. We're getting there. This team is aging. We remember when we were like the youngest team in the NFL by like a margin for like a couple of years. And now that's not necessarily the case anymore. But Arizona Cardinals week 14 should be a pretty big game as far as the timing of that one. In week 15, the Rams do come home to play the Seattle Seahawks at 1:25. This is likely a big game in the NFC West race as well. But how big, I'm not 100% sure. I have the Seahawks finishing last place. This could, though. Any of these games, the week 14 against the Cardinals, week 15 against the Seahawks, and then week 18, that feels weird to say, against the 49ers, those all could be potential division-determining games. Winning that could mean you're winning the division. So obviously every game's important, but those games are extremely important. But the Seattle Seahawks in that week 15 slot, the Rams luck out playing in Seattle early in the season and playing at home against Seattle late in the season. It always feels like it's opposite. It feels like the Rams have always been in Seattle like week 16, and it sucks and it's cold and it's rainy. And for a team that's played most of its life in LA, and then when it wasn't in LA for those 21 years in St. Louis, played in a dome. I don't feel super good about playing in cold weather games late season, going into that January, like the December, January timeframe. This game, of course, will be played in December. Next game here, the Rams are on the road in Week 16 at the Minnesota Vikings. This is a 10 a.m. kickoff game. The big matchup here, which I will be talking about pretty heavily leading up, I'm sure, will be Justin Jefferson versus Jalen Ramsey. We saw what Ramsey did to number one wide receivers last year, was absolutely just shutting them down, all right? He was putting the lock on and just tossing the key into the thing. That fell apart real fast on me. But either way, Jalen Ramsey, he played amazing against some very top talent wide receivers last year. Justin Jefferson's one of those. Of course, we've got more up this list that I did not mention. You know, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf again. Let's just, there's, and then the Bucs and all of their wide receivers. I think I have a contract with the Bucs now. I don't know. So that's gonna be a big story for sure. The Rams did win the most recent game between these two in 2018, but they did lose the previous 5. So we are on a 1-game win streak, but coming off of before that was a 5-game losing streak to the Minnesota Vikings. So hopefully we can keep that going and actually start a real streak, because 1 is not a streak. 1 might just be an anomaly. So we'll keep that going. Week 17, this is our bonus game that was wedged in there right before the end of the season at the Baltimore Ravens. This is a 1:25 p.m. kickoff time. The Ravens absolutely smoked the LA Rams the last time these teams played, which was 2019? Oh gosh, it was not good. All right, it was Monday Night Football. This is a game, actually, I got the flag for it right behind the camera up here, and the game pin that somebody sent me. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. And it was Monday, September 25th, 2019, or that says November 25th. So that it was such a, I want to say it was 45-7. So it was bad, guys. It was not good. We just got absolutely wrecked, and it looked like we couldn't do anything that game. So hey, payback would feel pretty nice, wouldn't it? Payback would feel really nice, especially since we weren't even really supposed to play this team this year. We were supposed to wait another couple years. So I will take that 100% every time, and hopefully we can get some payback on them. East Coast late games here for it. So we're in Baltimore, and it's a 1:25 kickoff time. So it's going to be 3:25 kickoff local, or no, 4:25 local time out in Baltimore. So like a borderline night game for them out there. But for us, it's just a normal time. But I'm here for it. I love when we can get the late game, and it's also not like we're going to the East Coast, but we also get the late game. We don't have to wake up super early. I mean, I'm up every day like 5, but still hate it. And the last game of the season is going to be Week 18 at home against the San Francisco 49ers. This game kicks off at 1:25. Does the NFL think the NFC West division comes between these two? Because I think it might. And I think the NFL might know that. And I think that's why this game is Week 18, the final game of the season. I think that this might be the one. This might be the determining factor. And it's scheduled right now for the 1:25. But, of course, Week 18 doesn't currently have a Sunday night game scheduled. Any of those games can get flexed depending on the playoff situations that we're seeing unfold. So maybe Stafford is what the Rams needed to be able to defeat the San Francisco 49ers. Maybe it was a Goff thing. Maybe Goff just cannot beat the 49ers, which I hope he does Week 1, because the Lions play the 49ers in Week 1, and I'm hoping that Goff is out there and he's like, I know what to do. Like, first of all, why didn't you do that last year? And second of all, just go do it. Just go do it. Some notes here, just some interesting things that I caught on the schedule just to talk about. So all 3 road division games are in primetime. Home primetime games are only on Sunday Night Football. We'd already talked about that. There's 2 of them. But then all 3 Rams road primetime games are all 3 division opponents. At the Seattle Seahawks on, what was that one, Monday Night Football? No, Thursday Night Football, sorry. And then the other 2, Monday Night Football at the Arizona Cardinals, and then Monday Night Football at the San Francisco 49ers. So all 3 road division games are primetime games. I think that's very interesting. I don't know what the mindset was there in the schedule makers and their almightiness. And I feel like, I don't know if it's true, but I feel like they sit at this huge conference table and they just like discuss storylines. And then they're like, what would be best for Week 1? Cowboys, Bucks? I guess. I don't understand why that's the kickoff game. Anyway. The Rams do end the season with 5 road games in their final 8, including at Minnesota and at Baltimore back-to-back. That's a little bit of a rough stretch when you're going, that's week 16, 17. That's a tough little back-to-back before coming home to play the 49ers, who might, have you a little bit on the ropes for the division. That might be the situation that we're looking at here. So I'm not the biggest fan of that, but yeah, that's fine. And the Rams get 4 early games. My only note here is whack. And all primetime games have nice surrounding games, meaning that the travel doesn't really turn into a problem for these games. Even a road Thursday night football game is preceded by a home game. So at least, it's like we're already in our city. Just go home, battle that LA traffic for like 17 hours, and then get home. And then you're at least already home. You don't have to fly home. Do appreciate you guys hanging out for this clip. You guys are my favorite people. All the people that see this part are the best kind of people, because that means you made it all the way through the video. And that's the best. So thank you guys very much. Sincerely, thank you for that. Now what I need you to do, if you have not already, is subscribe to Ram Showcase right here. And on this side, you can watch the entire podcast, where it's not just a little piece of it. You can watch the whole thing right here. Peace! Go Rams!